After having your pod configured inside of the deployment, for sure, now it is time to talk about the service. So to put it simple, service is the way how we can publish our container so it can be like accessible. Okay, there are three types of the service in the Kubernetes. It is like ClusterIP, NodePort, and LoadBalancer. We will talk about later. But first, if you found this video or this channel useful, don't forget to subscribe and also share this channel. Okay, now let's get started. See, now we already have like 2 pods for the deployment of the Nginx app. Let's check again. Okay. kubectl get deployment. Okay, we already have this, but the thing is we cannot like access them from the browser. Okay, if you notice in the first video of this playlist, actually we are able to do that by like wait a moment, localhost to curl that from localhost with port 8080. But now it is failed because we don't have any service that running to publish the container. We also like didn't do the kubectl port forwarding. So now we need to try all of them for the services. So there are two type of the service. So the first one is actually the ClusterIP, this one, the left one. Okay. So to put it simple, actually the ClusterIP is when you want to publish your port from your container, but it's still like only for inside of your cluster itself. So let's say whenever I expose the container port using the ClusterIP for my laptop, actually I cannot access them. Okay, it is only inside the cluster. So the use case of this ClusterIP is, let's say if you want to publish the port of your container to another container. For the example, let's say you have like front end, you have like back end, and then you have like a database deployment. So you can like expose them. So for the database, you can like expose the container port, let's say for the MySQL on port 3306. So the back end can able to call the what I call to make the connection to the database, and it's same with the front end. So front end can access the back end or something like that. So now let's try to create the first service. In this case is the ClusterIP. Okay, now create the ClusterIP service. We can like create using the console expose. So the command is expose, not like create service. Okay, expose the deployment, in this case is Nginx app, and let's put the name like Nginx C cluster IP. Okay, and the port is, let's say, 8080. Make it same with the previous example, and the target port, this is the port that we want to be a destination or target in the container itself. For this case, since we are using the Nginx container, then for sure they are by default listening on port 80. So now we will use something like this. Okay, service Nginx cluster IP expose. We can check in the kubectl get service or SVC. Okay, see, we already have one here. Okay, so now if you try this curl http, not this one, it should not be able actually. See, it is like not connected. So how can we certain or sure that actually inside the cluster this IP and port is accessible? Remember, kubectl get port, we have the curl port. So now let's go into that port. kubectl exec -it, then the curl port, then sh. Wait, sh. See, now we already inside of the what they call the pod of the curl pod. Now let's try to curl again. Maybe like just try to copy paste this. See, now it's coming. We can connect to the Nginx, what I call Nginx service for the cluster IP. See, it's different when we open this from my local, from, yeah, you see, I mean, from the WSL itself, the one that hosting the Kubernetes cluster, it is failed, but inside the cluster it works. Okay, now we have the first service. It is confirmed that we can do that. Now we have the second type of the service is NodePort. So instead of for the inside of the cluster communication, for the NodePort is actually we can like having the port accessible for the client, let's say from my WSL or from my browser. But the case for this one is actually we need to map the port to a node. In this case, is my laptop is only have one node, and it is not a really a good way actually to utilize the scaling of the Kubernetes. Maybe like only for debugging it's okay, but then for like a real case it is not really a good thing to use. But let's try. Now the first one is, let's create again kubectl expose deployment nginx app, and the name nginx NodePort. Okay, and the port is 8080 and the target port is same. It's 80 because the target port is always same. Okay. Now we should have at a two service. This one. Ah, okay. Sorry, I forgot to put the type. This one. Okay. See, this is still cluster IP, so I will delete this one. Oh, not this one, but this one. Ah, kubectl delete service node part. Okay, now it's deleted. Then type node port. It's good. See, now Docker try to add something in the firewall. Okay, it is like trying to open ports, but we will allow. I mean, like this is only for the sake of the educational purpose on my laptop. So let's kubectl get services. Oh, okay. CTL. See, now it's different. Okay, this one. Oh, wait. Okay, this one should be good, I believe. This is the IP that should be able to be accessed from my WSL. Let's try. It will not like 8080 actually, but the port is this one, 32450. So it is like random IP with in the certain range. Ah, wait, why it is not working too? Okay, let's try to check on that. Oh, wait a moment. Let's see. Oh, is that because of the? Not sure. Let's try. Let's try that from the call to. Oh, it seems it is not working. Let's see. kubectl describe deployment nginx app. See, okay, nothing here. Service kubectl get svc. Let's check why it is not. Oh, is that because of the previous one? Describe svc. See, endpoint. Okay, this is the endpoint of the pod actually. Oh, nice. This is because the not port. Let's see. Localhost, no. Let's check because of, yeah, actually this is the endpoint for two pod. If we have more pods, then this should be like more than that. Not port. Okay, not port is unset. Let's wait for this and We will add some adjustment. Okay, now let's check it. Okay, this will be good actually, but the only thing is I need to check what is the IP of the node. Okay, I think I will forget to do this. Get nodes. See, this is the nodes, the desktop Docker now. And now let's check. Let's check more. Okay, now we got the internal IP. So this one, this will be able to be accessible. 32450. See, curl again. Ah, still not really. Why? Ah, this will be not the case actually. Okay, let's check for firewall. Wow. Let's try to allow the firewall first. Okay. Let me check what is the range for this. The range for this, so I think around like 30,000. Okay. So let's put this advanced setting. Let's check this. No inbound. Okay, it's new rule. Now it's okay. TCP. Okay, maybe like 35,000 should be okay, I believe. Hello connection. Okay, private. Okay, now this Kubernetes not port. Okay, let's try again. I'm not sure, but let's try. Ah, still not working. Ah, this is something that. Okay, let's check for this. Yeah, it is not working. Why? Let's check again. Why? Why it is not working? One moment, please. I will check this. Let's try again. Yeah, it is not working even like the the firewall is already there updated. So I'm not quite sure whether it's like related with the Docker desktop things, but yeah, I think let's put that like this for now, and let's continue with the third one. The third one is the load balancer. So the idea of the load balancer is like it is the I think this is the best of service type that we can use. So we will have like one entry point, okay, for the pod. So it will be like accessible from outside of the cluster. So in this case, we will able to access our cluster from the outside, let's say from my local laptop or something like that. So let's try to create the third one, the third example. Seal cube ctl expose deployment nginx app, and the name is nginx load balancer, and the port still 8080. Okay, let's try this, and the target port is 80, and the type is load balancer. Okay, let's try this whether this will be good here, because yeah, who knows. Okay, kubectl get service. Now this one is really now. Okay, we have this new record nginx load balancer blah 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 blah. See, this is the cluster IP, and this is we have the external IP. So now we have the local host http localhost and the port 8080. Let's try call. See, it's working. I mean, I'm not quite sure with the NodePort, but the load balancer is working fine, so it's good, I believe. So now we can access that from the WSL or even from the browser. See, it's working. Now, what I want to show you is since we have two pods, kubectl get pods. See this one? Now we have like two pods running, and we don't know actually which requests coming and come from. Okay, so let's try to change one of the content of this one. kubectl get exec minus it bash. Okay, now user share nginx html. And now let's change this. This one, yeah, this one. Oh no, this one. Okay, let's get to this index HTML. See, oh, why? Ah, sorry for that. It's not good. It's echo. Nice. Now it's good. And now let's try to reload this. See, so the request is coming to this one, and if we like reload again, it's not good because it cannot like simulate like I want to come to this one. Okay, see, it is like the request seems like coming to this, but then yeah, we still have this one. So if it is like the request somehow got to this one, so the request will got a different response. So that's what my point is. So now, okay, since that not the case, I cannot like, okay, let's try to open from this. Okay, it is like, oh, see, now it's different from the console. See, sometimes it is come to this port, but sometimes it's come to another port. Now, and this is like inconsistent, and we don't want this kind of behavior in our applications, correct? So actually, this is already end of the section of the service explanation of the Kubernetes. But for this point, I want to highlight this point because this one will be like our next topic. So how to make our pods have consistent value. So in that case, next we will have another topic, okay, to explain that. So the idea is actually whatever, whichever is the pod, kubectl get pods, whenever is this one or this one, okay, should have like a consistent value or consistent file. So in the next video we will talk about something that interesting. The idea is we will prepare the index file, okay, for those two to be able to be same for one pod and to another pod. So if we want to change that, we don't want to change inside the pod, but we only need to change one template for the index.html, and then it will be applied to all of the pods. Okay, so that's for the next video, but now we already have all conclusion for the service that we can have the cluster IP, we can have the NodePort, and we can have the load balancer. If you want to expose your container or your pod to outside of the cluster, use the load balancer. But if you want only like inside of the cluster communication, then just use the cluster IP. So that's all for this video. And if you found this video is useful and this channel is interesting, then don't forget to subscribe and share this video so the other people also can watch and get benefit from this video. And again, see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.